Whew. Uh, this league's a bear. You know, that's a good basketball team with a lot of pieces, and you know, we had a difficult time, especially late in the first half, defending some of their actions. Some of it certainly was on me with the position I put the guys in. We made some changes the second half, in particular, 4 or 5 minutes in, and the guys executed those well, and we were able to run together 10 or 11 stops and get ourselves back in the game. But you know, we were. These guys would probably agree with me. We were flat in practice yesterday. From an emotional standpoint, now it's been a grind. You know, they came back Christmas Eve, and it's pretty much we've been on go since then. And I thought we were kind of flat the first half. You know, fortunately, you know, these two guys in particular really gave us a boost the second half. And I told Marcus in the locker room a year ago, in a game like this where baskets were tough and turnovers, and Marcus would have been 10 for 23, 10 for 24. He would have taken 7 or 8 shots that weren't in the flow of our offense. And tonight, he doesn't do that. He waits for his time, and with the game on the line, makes a great pass to Taz for a 3 that, you know, fortunately we got the bounce and it went in. And but, you know, that speaks to how much his game has grown and how much he's matured as a player. And I thought Martine's activity, you know, running the floor, and, you know, his a lot of guys on the play, maybe the play of the game, I think it was a 2-point game when he blocked that shot in transition. And if he doesn't take off right away, there's no way he gets there. But he was a basketball player, and he took off, and he hustled, and he went and made an incredible block to really seal the victory for our team.
Questions for the student athletes?
I guess what were some of those adjustments in the second half? You look at the three-point shooting alone, there's a huge discrepancy in what they shot in the first half and the second half. What did you guys try to do better maybe on their dribble penetration or their closeouts or anything?
It's simpler for me to try to answer that than these guys. We just switched the ball screen coverage. We put Ronnie or our 4-man on Owens so we could switch those screens. And we got up into Simon a little bit more instead of playing him so soft. And all those pick and pops for Owens, you know, and then, you know, we had a mismatch somewhere else, and to Marcus and Mitch, when he was in there, to their credit, they really fought Clark in the post. And we were able to take away some of the easy threes.
Questions for the student athletes?
Marcus, what did you just kind of describe what you saw in the final possession, maybe what you thought that you'd see from them, and then how you read it to find Kyrie in the corner?
You know, I was expecting to go left and, you know, try to finish at the basket or get a little pull-up. But the way they were guarding it, he was kind of forcing me back to the baseline, and I beat him a little bit, and I seen that Kyrie's man helped a little bit, so I kind of turned into him a little bit and flipped it back to him, tried to use my body as a screen, tried to get him an open shot. And, you know, I got that from Tyler, so I can thank him for that. But, you know, it's just I knew Taz was going to be able to make that play if I get in the ball. And, you know, like Coach was saying, you know, it's just being unselfish at the end and, you know, pulling out the win for our team.
That's a TC move?
Yeah, that's definitely a Tyler move.
Sort of, was it like an underhand pass?
It's an underhand pass, and you just turn your body into the defender, yeah.
Martine, what were you seeing on the possession where they kind of had a little run out and you were trailing the play to get that block shot?
I just knew I got to get back as soon as possible. I couldn't get the one that was earlier, so I had to go for the second one, and fortunately I got it.
Remember where you were when they got possession? Did you crash the glass on that play?
Yeah, I had a rebound anyways if he would have missed. So.
No, I mean the other play, the one. I think maybe Kyrie took a jump shot or something. Somebody missed a shot on your guys' end. I didn't know if you crashed the glass.
I don't remember, but I probably did.
What is this win, to be able to put one in the win column that probably under the toughness category where you guys had to, you know, withstand some struggles offensively, defensively, you were hitting shots you weren't, you know, all the kind of things that you guys wanted to see some growth in those areas. What does it mean to get one in that column that you wanted so badly?
It definitely means a lot to us just because, you know, the losses we had, you know, against Baylor and Gonzaga that were right there, and we had, and even the one at Seton Hall. You know, I remember telling John at the end of the game, you know, we've been saying all season that we want to keep learning from these losses, but instead of learning, we need to get out there and do it. So tonight we got out there and we got it done in the second half, and, like I was telling the team last week against Providence at the end of the game, even though we were up, we still got to play and fight hard because we're going to need this down the stretch. You go down the list and everybody's a good team, so we're going to have games like this again. So just prepare us for the long season we got ahead of us.
And Martin, second half when you guys were down, I think 10 there, 56-46 or so, and it seemed like you kind of were looking for a play. You were getting some rebounds, you had a couple of dunks. I mean, what was the intensity for you during that stretch to kind of get this team back in it?
I was just observing what they were giving me. So they put Tariq on me. I kind of out-toughened him. I think he's a little lighter than me, so I was able to get a deeper position and scored that right underneath the basket.
Yet if you where you put the ball on the floor on the perimeter, did you kind of get a sense going into this game that it might be open, or is that just kind of reading it on the fly there?
He's pretty tall, so his legs are a little slower than mine. So I saw the open look, open gap, so I just drove him.
2 more for the student athletes.
Marcus, just the intensity of that game. I mean, St. John's obviously brought a lot of energy, and they were fired up after that run at the end of the half. But, well, I don't know, the second half, the crowd was in it, and you guys seemed to raise it too. Is that I mean, it's kind of Big East basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, what was it like out there?
Oh, it was just amazing, just to hear the crowd and not be able to communicate with your teammates. Those are the games you really want. And then to come out and win in front of our crowd like that and for them to show so much support, it's just so amazing for us to do.
You guys talk about the grind of what's going on right now, this stretch of basketball where, like Max said, you've been back since Christmas Eve, which is a day earlier than normal. I mean, you've been practicing or preparing or playing for something ever since. What does it feel like physically right now? I mean, and what does it take to get through a stretch like this?
It's definitely draining, and it's kind of hard. You have to, go guard one person or one style to play this week, and then switch it up for two days and prepare and get ready for a new style. So it's definitely tough. But like I tell my teammates, I really like it how we have to switch up. It keeps us on our toes, and the other team has to prepare for us too. So it's going to be hard on them. So we just keep fighting it through it until we get this week break after Butler, and we can go from there.
Thanks, Chairman.
Good job. Yep.
Questions for Coach?
I think probably circle a few different individual performances tonight, but I don't think Kyrie had a break in the second half. How much impact did he have on this game tonight?
Well, he had a huge impact because he kept Shamari in check. Shamari's going to get some, and he certainly did that. And I thought Shamari did a good job of, Kyrie did a good job on him, so he deferred and made some nice plays for his teammates, and that's what good players do. But, Taz hits the big three out of the locker room at halftime to kind of give us a little bit of a jolt, and then it's a big one at the end. And talked about trying to get him a little bit of a blow a few times in the second half, but we just felt like we didn't want Shamari to get started, and to take him out of the game and allow him to do that, we were concerned with that. Kyrie was outstanding.
Would he have let you take him out of the game?
He wouldn't have given me a very good look on the way out, probably.
A lot of minutes for Tyshawn down the stretch. Had a couple of turnovers, but you left him in and kind of let him feel his way through it. What was the thought process there and his growth during that?
I almost went back to Davion late. I just thought this group kind of got us back in the game. Let's try to finish with him rather than going with somebody cold off the bench. And he made a couple turnovers, but hit a couple big free throws there. And it's a great growing and learning experience. And St. John's, we haven't played a team like them all year. And you attempt to simulate it in practice, and I thought our scout team did a great job the last 2 days of giving us a look. But you can't simulate that length. And it was a hard team for us to play against, and they had a really good plan on both ends of the floor, and we certainly had to move some pieces around as the game went on to give our guys the best chance. And but you get 11 straight stops in the middle of the second half, and I think in that stretch where we went from down 10 to up 3, I think Martin had 10 points, and a lot of those were hustle, effort, finishing through contact plays. And it's good to see. It's we weren't at our best tonight. Certainly St. John's had a lot to do with that. And it won't be very often when a team's not at their best in this league and they win. And, we found a way to do it.
Coach, you've mentioned that during the Big East, if you come out a little flat, if you're not at your best, generally you're going to lose these games. What does it show you about your team that you were able to come out to win tonight?
Well, I'm proud. I'm really proud of them. They stuck with each other. They certainly have a tremendous amount of trust in one another, and they're unselfish. And that's that type of team certainly is fun to coach, and I think for our fans they're fun to watch.
How about Ronnie knocking out a couple of big threes? For him to get going from outside, how important is that? Offensively for you?
Yeah, he's worked on his shot more this year than he ever has, and it certainly shows. But that's him making shots is such a small part of what he does for us. We can really put him on anybody. And we switched him onto their center because we felt like we could switch that ball screen and keep Owens from that pick and pop, and Ronnie could stay in front of people, and he gets rebounds. He has 2 assists, 1 turnover in 27, 28 minutes. So Ronnie's just playing really, really good basketball. He's not a starter, but he's certainly our 6th starter because he's doing some really good things for us.
The fact that you have a lot of veterans, so I'm guessing your expectation is pretty high for him, but to make an adjustment, to execute it, and then this also sort of kind of maintain your poise down the stretch. Is this a growth type game?
Yeah. Anytime you can be in a game like this, you grow from you grow from Seton Hall. You're in that situation, and you go back and you watch it, and as a player, I wish I'd have done this different. I wish I would have made this play, or I missed that read, or I didn't communicate a switch. And now we're going to look at some things in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game, things we did well, some turnovers that we made because we left our feet and we're a little soft with our passes. And you have to be mature enough to learn when you win as well, because we're going to be in a lot of these this year. That's just the reality. It's a tough league, and you're going to have to be ready, and you're going to have to get better as time goes on. And everybody's in a stretch now where we're playing a bunch of games, so it's kind of the tough guy's going to be left standing. And for us to get outscored 18-2 in fast break points and 24-8 off turnovers, still find a way to win the game means we're doing. We were really forced into the quarter court tonight for really one of the first times. Nebraska maybe did it similar to this. And found a way to grind it out a game when you didn't have all that offense in transition.
About Martin being counted on, during that comeback stretch, a couple of big momentum plays.
Yeah, he was really good, and I told him at halftime I thought his communication and his activity and his energy was maybe this is as low as I've seen it in a game, and for him to be able to flip the switch and crank it up is a credit to him, and I think a sign of how much he's matured as a player, not only from last year to this year, but even from the start of the season to now. He's really growing in front of our eyes.
2 more. Coach, during a stretch like this, when you have a big win, then a couple days off, and then you're back at it at Georgetown, what's the next couple days like to get your team ready for that next game?
Well, we have to tap the brakes a little tomorrow because I think some guys are probably mentally and physically pretty fatigued. I know I am. But we've never won at Georgetown. Nobody in that locker room's won at Georgetown. So I think it's something that the seniors would love to check off the list. Anybody who watched the game against Butler when they had them down 20 and watched the game at DePaul last night, this is a good Georgetown team. They're physical. They're long. Coach Ewing's done a really good job of, they're very organized in their approach and what they do and very physical. So tomorrow has to be a mental practice more so than a physical practice, and then we'll crank it up a little bit Friday morning before we jump in the plane, because the reality of it is in about 36 hours, not 36 hours, I guess, 24, 48, about 60 hours, we're going to tip it up in D.C. and play the game.
Did you notice anything in particular with the second or the end of the first half offensively? Just because
I have to go back and look. We had some turnovers there. I think we had 3 or 4 turnovers in the last 7, 8 possessions. And Marcus got a couple deep and tried to get the call and didn't get the call. And then other than that, I think Mitch had a wide open 3. I think Tyshawn had a really good look, and I think Ronnie had a good look. And because of their length at the rim, sometimes that's all you can get is a three-point shot. So it wasn't so much the defense or the offense that I was as disappointed with, but some of those turnovers led to layups on the other end, and that really fueled their offense. So, it was a game of runs, and fortunately, we had the bigger run in the middle of that second half than they had at any point in the game, and that really was a difference in the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.